You've heard of Vikings as fearless warriors, legends of the sea, but that's not the whole truth. Because behind the raids, behind the glory, there was something darker, something history doesn't like to talk about. When Viking ships appeared on the horizon, it was already too late. Villages didn't have time to prepare. Monasteries didn't have time to pray. The attack was fast, violent, and absolute. But killing wasn't the goal. Capturing was. Men were dragged from their homes, beaten, bound, forced onto ships they had never seen before. Some were chosen for strength. These men would become labor, rowing Viking ships across freezing seas, building settlements in unknown lands, living only as long as they were useful. Others were simply expendable. But for women, the fate was often worse. They weren't seen as prisoners. They were seen as spoils, taken as rewards, given to warriors, or traded like objects. Their future depended on who claimed them. And there was no choice. No escape. Children weren't spared either. They were taken young, separated from their families, raised in a world where their past no longer existed. Their names, their language, forgotten. Because to the Vikings, a captive wasn't a person. It was value. After the raid, the journey began. Across cold, endless seas, captives were packed into ships, hungry, terrified, unsure if they would ever see land again. Many didn't survive. But those who did faced a different kind of horror. Markets. Viking traders didn't just raid. They sold. A massive network stretched across Europe and beyond. Human lives, exchanged for silver. In these markets, people were inspected, judged, priced. Strength mattered. Youth mattered. But humanity did not. Families were separated in moments. A mother one way, a child another, never to meet again. Some captives were sent to distant lands, places they had never heard of, where they would live and die as slaves. Others remained, serving Viking households, with no freedom and no voice. And if they resisted, punishment was brutal, because in that world, they were no longer seen as human, just property, just profit. And perhaps the darkest truth is this. Most of their stories were never recorded. No names. No memories. Just silence. Because history remembers the warriors, but forgets the captives. And for many of them, death would have been mercy, because what they faced instead was a lifetime of being owned,